All right, here's the stocks that I'm looking into tomorrow. First, we got PDD, Pin Duo Duo. Um, we zoom out of this, we'll see that it's in an inverse head and shoulders pattern. So I'm liking the break above this resistance, this orange line. So I like calls anything above 72, 75 for calls. Also got a gap fill. Let me see. Yeah, got a gap fill to the upside from 74.84 to 79.06. Um, yeah, so I like this chart if we can get that breakout. Um, okay, so next we got Google. So Google's been range bound, just bouncing up and down between this support and resistance. Support at 119.83. I mean resistance at 119.83 and support at 106.53. So it's just been ranging there for probably about what, since April 22nd. It's been ranging. Um, Seems to be finding support here or making support, which is supported at 106.53, but it's stopping out around that 107 level. Um, so we could be looking for a bounce here. I like calls anything above 108.60, and puts we could take them below the 106.53. All right, so another one I like for this week is Coke. I like Coke because it's bounced off on Friday, bounced off the 200 MA and also off support. And if we zoom out a little bit, we can see Coke is always bouncing off this 200 MA. It stays bouncing off that 200 MA. Got it right here bouncing, right there bouncing, over here bouncing, over here. Broke down a little bit, but came back to reclaim just to push higher. Um, got a bounce right here. And now we're getting a bounce on Friday, which also bounced off support. So I'm liking Coach chart. So I like calls anything above 6150. Matter of fact, calls above 6130, and the puts below break below this support of 6085. So anything below 6080 for puts. And next we got Macy's. Now Macy's is bouncing off this blue line, which is a solid support for Macy's. It had a little run up on Friday, came back down under this resistance point. So I like I like it for to break this resistance again. So calls above 1740, and still I wouldn't take puts unless it's below this support line of 1666. All right, so next we got Oxy. Oxy got this in a bull pendant. Also bouncing off support, bouncing off the trend line, which is support. So that's two support lines it's bouncing off of. I would like a bounce within this pendant. So calls anything above 70.30. And if we break out of this pendant and below this support, puts below 68.15. And next we got Baba. Baba is another stock that's at support. Let's see. So I would like Baba under 90.75 to take puts. It does have a gap to fill to the downside at between 86.71 and 84.07, with a support line around 87.75. Let me put that there. All right. And calls, I like them anything above 92.25, just for a bounce off this support. All right, next we got AMD. AMD is at its next line of support. I wouldn't say it bounced on Friday, it just pretty much just got stopped out there. So for AMD, I like the bounce. So calls anything above 82.25, and puts a break of this support of 79.91. I would take puts anything below 79.85. Next, we got Amazon. Amazon had a trend line going. It took a bounce on there on Thursday with this green hammer candle. Bounced off that, came back above the resistance at 126.22. Got rejected at the 8 EMA, came back down, well, no, but closed above resistance. So for Amazon, we're really looking for a continuation off that bounce of resistance, or if it breaks below this resistance to come back within this ascending triangle that it's in, which the trend line is forming. I would take calls on Amazon above 129.50 and puts below 126 even. Okay, next we got Microsoft. Microsoft is also at a strong support at 255.71. I like to bounce off Microsoft. Anything above 257 and the break of this support, I like it. Anything below 255.50. Okay, so some pretty good plays here. Duo off the inverse head and shoulders with a gap to fill to the upside. And if we do get rejected on this Duo, I would take puts below this white line that I have, which is an intraday resistance. So if it comes below this, I would say puts below 71.50. Anything below 71.50 on Duo. So we got the inverse head and shoulders, got to fill to the upside. If we get rejected, and also we got a couple gaps to fill to the downside if it breaks below this support line of 69.07. Okay, so we got that on Duo. Then Google, we got it trading the range, looking for a bounce or a breakdown below the support. Coke, we had it bouncing off the 200 MA, bouncing off the support as well. Macy's, bouncing off of major support. Well, I'm not even going to say bouncing off major support, it's holding a major support. So we're looking for that to break above resistance. Oxy, we got a bull pennant flag. We're waiting for this to break this intraday resistance, and also the continuation of breaking out the pendant. And that has, if it could break out the pendant, your next resistance would be the high, or really around that 76 76.40 level. Yeah. And then we got Baba. Baba's holding this support. Could probably drop down. Break down to another, its next level of support around 87.94. Also has gap to fill down to 86.71 down to 84.07. And also AMD was a bounce off. We can get looking for a bounce off support or to break below the support. Amazon, see if we can hold this trend line. As I said on Thursday, it took a bounce off support with that hammer candle right here. Friday, it closed above this resistance. Watching for a bounce off this resistance, a continuation of the bounce off this resistance, or break down back into this ascending triangle that the trend line has formed. And then we have Microsoft holding a strong support, looking for a bounce off that support or actually a break down below the support. So that's pretty much what I'm watching for tomorrow. And some of these numbers will change depending on how we open tomorrow morning in pre-market, and prices will be adjusted on there. Actually, prices will be adjusted, and then I'll be posting it on the daily watch list. All right, that's it.